The summer movie is in full swing, and we are now headed into June. This June is a pretty big one with some big blockbuster movies. First one up is Ocean's 8. Ocean 8 is a spin-off of the Ocean franchise, a series of heist movies from the early to mid-2000s. I feel Ocean 8 will be kind of solid at box office. Between the animated movies and the action blockbusters, a female-driven film will always be good for counter-programming. So having a smaller-scale heist film with a star-studded cast including Anne Hathaway, Sandra Bullock, Rihanna, and others, my prediction for Ocean 8 is $125 million domestic and $285 million worldwide. The next one on the list is The Incredibles 2, the long-awaited sequel to Pixar's superhero movie. Now I'm expecting this to blow up and be one of the biggest hits this year for numerous reasons, including that it's a long-awaited sequel, a Pixar movie, and a superhero movie. But before I make any official predictions, let me talk about some numbers. The first Incredibles came out in 2004 and made $261 million domestic and $633 million worldwide. For the time, this is still really big, coming in at the 5th highest grossing movie that year domestically. Now, since then, the box office has grown for both animated and superhero movies. Take, for example, Finding Dory, which was out in 2015 and made $486 million domestic and was just over $1 billion worldwide. I won't go over superhero numbers, but just looking at Infinity War about to hit $2 billion, there is no superhero fatigue. So taking all of this into account, my prediction for Incredibles 2 is $450 million domestic and $1.05 billion worldwide. It will just barely hit $1 billion. Coming out the same weekend is Tag, a comedy apparently based on a true story from Warner Brothers. Now, I couldn't find many comedies like this to base a prediction on, but it'll probably be on the smaller scale. Assuming it has decent reviews, I'm going to go with $55 million domestic and $120 million worldwide. If it gets terrible reviews, it will not work as counter-programming and will bomb hard. Apparently the dinosaurs will never be extinct, as coming out in June is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Now the question for this one is how much will it drop from Jurassic World? For comparison, Jurassic World was a monster, coming at $652 million domestic and $1.67 billion worldwide. Now compared to not only just Jurassic Park franchise and movies overall, that it is an anomaly, as it was due mostly due to pent-up demand to see dinosaurs on the big screen after almost 15 years. The nostalgia effect is not here now, so that will cause a big drop, I believe. Competition-wise, it only has to deal with The Incredibles for a few weeks before Ant-Man and the Wasp comes out in early July, so it's not too bad. But also, by the time it comes out, Infinity War and Deadpool will not really be a threat, and as from what we've seen from Solo is not a threat at all. We won't talk about it. So my predictions for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is $390 million domestic and $1.2 billion worldwide. Not as big as the first Jurassic World, but still, compared to any other movie, really, really good. The next two movies coming out in June, I'll be quick on it, there's not much to say about them. First is Sicario, Day of the Soldado. Sequel to Sicario, this stars once again Benicio del Toro, and for the third month straight, a movie featuring Josh Brolin. Yes, seriously. Anyway, the first did somewhat okay at the box office with $46 million domestic and $85 million worldwide, off a $30 million budget. I expect this to do more or less around the same. Might do a little worse review-wise because it doesn't have the top-tier director Denis Villeneuve. Now, I don't think the movie will be bad. If I read correctly, the director for the sequel was a writer for the first, so he does know the characters and the plot really well. My prediction for Sicario 2 is $50 million domestic and $90 million worldwide. Just slightly better than the first movie. Now that, because I saw that it's kind of built up a little bit of a cult following since its initial release, so I think that might help a bit. The last movie is Uncle Drew. I just wanted to make a prediction on this because I think it's fucking crazy that a Pepsi commercial from a few years ago has turned into an actual movie. Anyway, it does still star NBA star Kyrie Irving as the main character Uncle Drew, and it also has Shaq in it as well. It depends on the budget, but I think that this will do okay. If there's a strong social media campaign from Kyrie Irving to his fans to say go see the movie, I think it could work alright. My prediction is $40 million domestic and $65 million worldwide. The worldwide overall is pretty low, mainly because I don't know how many countries this movie will actually be opening in. Also, besides America and China, there's not a lot of the big countries that are super into basketball enough to understand the movie. Like, it's from a Pepsi commercial. So, internationally, there's only so much you can do. Anyway, that is it for my predictions for June. Coming out next week or two is my roundup of May and how May has been holding up. And coming up at the end of June, I will be doing my July predictions, which includes The First Purge, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Hotel Transylvania 3, Skyscraper, Mamma Mia 2, Mission Impossible Fallout, and Teen Titans Go to the Movies. Thank you for watching.